As you know, as part of Men's Health Week, we've been speaking to colleagues throughout the organisation to share their stories into health. And we're really, really pleased today that Andy Swinburn has agreed to speak to us about his journey into health and fitness. I wonder if we could begin by just hearing a little bit about your journey to weight loss and sort of the decision making behind that.
Well, I suppose my journey to weight loss has been quite a long journey, really. My weight is always something I've been challenged with all my life. It's always something I've had to keep tabs on with varying levels of success, to be honest. And, you know, I have had repeated attempts at losing weight, been successful, but then it's come back on, sometimes with more than I started. But probably my most recent endeavours have probably been the most successful so far. So that kicked off in real earnest last September. With so far my weight loss has been 6.5 stone.
How did you get started? What was the sort of the first things that you decided to change?
Obviously, my eating habits. So the diet I'm on at the moment is really quite strict. But simply found, you know, my experience has been with weight loss that there's just, you need that certain motivation at some point in your life that just says, no, that's it. Something changes and you decide, I really am going to have to get stuck into this. And that was last September, as we were starting to come out of the first lockdown with the potential for a third. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, now's the time. So, as I say, embarked on a fairly strict diet regime, which I'm still on at this moment in time, because I've still a little bit more to reach my target. And that was really the turning point that decided, no, I need to really make a difference.
Have there been a lot of barriers along the way?
The desire to still eat in the way I used to hasn't gone away. And that's probably an ongoing barrier, really. And I think that's going to be one of those continued challenges. You know, I am desperately keen not to regain the weight this time. And so I fully recognise that the challenges I've faced in losing the weight will probably be an ongoing challenge of making sure I don't undo some of the good work I've done, really. And that's simply just, you know, the feelings of hunger, the pangs of, I could just, desire for certain kinds of food. That, as I say, hasn't gone away, and that's probably going to be the education I'm going to have to go on as part of the next step when I do get towards my target weight loss, to then think, well, how are we going to make this a long-term change? In terms of exercise, I've always been a big gym goer. I've been going to the gym since I was maybe 13, 14. Principally, it tends to be more weightlifting rather than cardio. And whilst I probably, you know, still do a reasonable amount of cardio, it's not the bulk of what I do. But I suppose from my point of view, going to the gym, lifting weights, whilst it's not cardio, it's still exercise. It still keeps me moving, still keeps me where I think feels healthier, because I can tell when I haven't been for a period of time. And it will always maintain a staple part of my life in it.
How do you manage to maintain that sort of that diet with such a busy life?
Well, if I'm brutally honest, there has been a few benefits to the last 12 months, but probably this has been one of them, because with living in Lancashire and working in Wales, a significant part of my previous life, pre-COVID, was spent in hotel rooms where, you know, all food is available at any time of day. A fabulous breakfast is usually on offer every morning if you so desire. Whereas living at home, all that choice isn't there, and you've kind of either got to make it yourself, or you don't necessarily have that freedom and that option that you get whilst living in a hotel. So spending more time in my home environment and not being out and about, the ability to not be able to go out and about like I once did, has probably been a big help. And it's probably acknowledging some of the risk factors I have going forward from this point is as we start to open up and the freedoms start to come back. And I'm in a hotel room at this moment in time. So thinking about times when when there's going to be that desire to go and undertake some of those unhealthy eating habits, I'm probably more conscious of it now than ever.
How do you feel? Are you, do you feel that, do you feel healthier?
Yes, I have to be honest. I can move about much more freely, clothes feel more comfortable. I definitely feel better himself. I'll be honest. I feel hungry. I feel hungrier nearly all the time, and that as I say, is the ongoing challenge. For anybody deciding to go down this route and probably do something as as dramatic as I am doing, I think it's an acknowledgement that you are going to have that feeling, and but equally, if there's times when I have fallen off the wagon and maybe had something I shouldn't, remembering what that feeling of uncomfortableness is equally motivating as well to get you back on the wagon and continue on the journey.
What advice would you have to other people who are thinking about taking on, I think, what is a huge challenge?
It is a huge challenge, and I think unless you've been on that journey, unless you've tried to lose weight, then I think people would underestimate as to what kind of a challenge it is. It feels like an addiction. It feels as though there is a certain amount of compulsion that prevents your conscious mind from having control over yourself. So I have the greatest deal of empathy with anybody that is starting out on this. But I think for me, it's about finding something that suits you. And when you've found that one, and as somebody that's tried multiple weight loss regimes, I probably found the one that works for me. It might work for you, and I happily, I give my experiences in terms of the plan I'm on, but equally don't necessarily want to endorse anything. But I'm happy to talk about the weight program, weight loss program I'm on. But I think you've got to find the one that works for you and do it and really try it, and don't give up. There is no magic bullet to this one. It is just a case of simply being more active in whichever way you find comfortable, and restricting the amount of food that you consume. It's really is quite as simple as that. But saying it is a damn sight easier than doing it. That'd be my experience.
Is there anything else you want to say at this point?
If there is anybody out there that's given this real, some real thought and maybe will feel any kind of motivation from speaking, within the team, by all means, drop me an email. I'll share my experiences, or I'll tell you about the things I've been doing. I'm not going to pontificate of being that person that's nailed this, because I've still a hell of a journey to go on. And I'm probably only about halfway there at the moment. But I'm pleased with the progress I've made in a relatively short space of time, and I'm conscious anybody with the right kind of motivation can probably do exactly the same.